Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a Terra Luna staking and anchor protocol introduction. So essentially what we're going to be going over is how to stake your Terra Luna coins, and then we're going to be going through the anchor protocol and looking at some other strategies that you can use to actually increase the yields that you can get. But essentially Terra.money is the main website for the Terra Luna ecosystem, Terra being the blockchain, Luna being the token on top of it. They also have UST, which is their stable coin, and essentially the Terra blockchain is developed around deploying decentralized stablecoins. So we can see here, Terra is a public blockchain protocol deploying a suite of algorithmically decentralized stablecoins which underpin a thriving ecosystem that brings DeFi to the masses. And the UST stablecoin is not exactly backed by a Luna, but it's backed by arbitrage opportunities from Luna. So a lot of people mistakenly think that one of the kind of big issues of UST and one of the potential kind of like downfalls of it is that if the price of Luna drops hugely, then the market value or the kind of like the total market cap of Luna could drop below UST, and therefore UST wouldn't be pegged. Now UST is not actually backed by Terra Luna in the way that USDC or something like that is. It's actually backed by the arbitrage opportunities, because you can always burn $1 worth of Luna to get one UST, and indeed burn one UST to get $1 value of Luna. So if for example UST goes way above peg, say it goes to 1.1, you could just burn $1 worth of Luna to get $1.1, so you're making 10% immediately of UST, and you could then swap that back for Luna and keep doing that. And obviously that flooding of UST into the market puts downward pressure on the kind of peg and brings it back towards kind of parity. And indeed if it drops below, so say it dropped down to 0.9, what you could do is burn one UST for $1 worth of Luna, and you could again do the sort of cycle the other way. So this is the way it kind of maintains its peg. There are slightly more complex explanations kind of out there that go through the kind of game theory behind it, but that's the essence of it, that it's using Terra Luna and the burning of Terra Luna in order to create UST, and then there is that arbitrage opportunity when it goes above or below peg. So one of the nice things about Luna is that you can stake it. Now the first thing you should do when looking at this kind of protocol, definitely go to the website. There's some really interesting stuff on the Terra.money website. I would very much recommend you go to the intro to Terra section. There's also some podcasts and interviews in the white paper there, and the first thing you'll need to do is download a web wallet or a downloadable kind of wallet. Terra Station is the kind of go-to wallet for Terra Luna. It's available as a Chrome extension as well as various mobile versions and desktop versions as well, both Windows and Mac and Linux downloadable versions. Most people use the Chrome extension on desktop. That's what I'm using, but you can get all the information about it here. The full documentations, and I'll put links to all of these are here. So make sure, as always, if you're searching for a wallet like this, make sure you go through the official sites. There are, particularly on Google, people that set up AdWords accounts with links to kind of spam wallets that are just there to steal your kind of funds. So make sure, as always, you're downloading your wallet from an authorized site, so from the proper site. So once you've downloaded your Chrome extension, it just looks very much like this. So we can click on that quickly. You can see a very simple kind of web extension, very much like MetaMask or something like that. But what's quite nice, it also has a more fully featured sort of web app available, and this is basically linked to the same Terra Station. So this is just like a slightly more padded out version. It allows you to do some of the functions like staking and stuff like that a little bit more easily and swapping than purely just using the pop-up from the Chrome extension. So first of all, create your wallet, make sure you take a backup of your seed phrase, etc, etc. Then you will need either some Terra Luna or UST. So we're going to start with Terra Luna. I tend to buy on Binance. You can withdraw from Binance straight onto the Terra chain. You don't have to kind of bridge it or anything like that, so you can withdraw straight into your Terra Station wallet. And then if you click on the basically the wallet thing here, you can see you will have all the kind of coins that have any kind of like value currently. So you can see in this wallet here I have just over 8 Luna, and then I've got a small amount of some of these other stable coins. So we've got UST, which is the main one, that's the US version, and then there are also other native currency versions of these algorithmically pegged stablecoin. The Korean one here is the next most popular, but you've got lots of different versions. You can see here there's a Euro one, an Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, there's a British pound one, you've got a Thai one, Philippine, etc, etc, etc. Now, not a lot of these are used hugely, and we're going to stick pretty much exclusively to UST, but just be aware that if you are staking within Terra Station, and we'll go through that in a minute, you will start to accumulate small amounts of some of these other currencies in addition to Luna and UST. So once you've got some Luna in your wallet, the simplest thing to stake is just to click here, Delegate Now, and essentially when we are staking, we're delegating our coins to a validator. Now there's a big list of validators here. Just for the sake of simplicity, I'll show you how to do it with the first on the list, which is All Nodes. Now they're not charging a fee, so it's quite a nice option at the moment. So you literally click on that and then click on Delegate, and then you would put in however many coins you want to delegate. So say we wanted to delegate 8 Luna, we would put in 8 in there. Now there is a fee to pay. You can choose, if you have multiple currencies, you can choose which currency to pay in. If you just moved over Luna, it will be Luna. So make sure you don't stake your entire kind of balance. You'll always want to keep a little bit extra for fees, particularly the first few kind of times until you've earned some rewards. So you do that, click submit. It will always prompt you, so it will pop up your Terra Station wallet. You'll put in your password and confirm that. And then essentially you are delegating or staking to that particular validator. Your rewards then accrue here in this top right little kind of window, and once you've received enough that you think it's worthwhile withdrawing your kind of like your funds or your rewards, as it were, you can click on the withdraw rewards. You have to pay a fee, so do be aware if you only put in a small amount into test, you will be paying a fee for every transaction on the kind of network. So it may be worthwhile, depending how many Luna you have staked, leaving it a few days or even kind of weeks or kind of months between withdrawing your rewards. Now, unlike a coin like say Cardano, which stakes, there is no auto compounding. You have to withdraw your rewards and then actually manually restake them. And when you stake with Luna, you earn a mixture of Luna and also stablecoins. You'll be earning roughly 3% in Luna, that's 3% APR over the year, and around 5% in stablecoins. Now the vast majority of that will come in UST, but you'll also get small amounts, as you can see here, some of these additional kind of currencies. So that's the most simple strategy really for kind of staking a Luna. You get your Luna, you would put it on Terra Station, literally click on stake or stake rewards, just select a delegator or a validator rather, someone to delegate your kind of coins to, and then stake them, and your rewards will be accruing here in the kind of wallet top right in real time. You'll see those tick up over time. Now the one thing to be aware of is that if you wish to unstake or undelegate, it is a 21-day kind of like period to do that. So if we click here, you can see these undelegations. I actually have 2 undelegations going on at once at the moment. I've got one for 10 Luna here, which will be released in 8 days, and then one here, which 150 Luna, which will be released in 14 days. So that takes 21 days. So that is something to bear in mind if you are locking up your kind of coins. If you were kind of trading, for example, swing trading or something like that, you can't get them back very, very kind of quickly. It takes a while to unstake or undelegate. Now that's the first and easiest way with which you can stake Luna and earn some kind of passive income. The second method requires Anchor Protocol. So if you go to app.anchorprotocol.com, again I'll put a link in the description below, but make sure you are on the official site. It will prompt you to link to your wallet, and then the Anchor Protocol page, this web app here, if you go to my page, you'll see here all the coins which are actually in your wallet. So you can see here UST just over $6, and if we go over here you can see that same $6 available. So basically everything within your Terra Station wallet, once it's linked up, will be available through Anchor Protocol. And the next strategy is using the swap function on Terra Station and then burning the corresponding bonded Luna back on Anchor Protocol. Now that may sound a little bit kind of complex, but let me explain exactly how it works. So if we go to the swap function and we select Luna as our initial kind of coin and then the coin we want to swap to, if we scroll through the kind of coins and the stable coins and then go onto tokens, there's something called bLuna, which is bonded Luna. And essentially you get a little bit of a bonus for converting from one to the other. So if we put in, for example, 100 Luna, that would currently give us 101.748. So basically 1.75% more bonded Luna than Luna. So what we can do is we can transfer there. There will be a transfer, transaction fee. At the moment it's 49 cents in UST. You can pay that in Luna or any of the other coins which you might have in your wallet if you've got enough of them. So you probably only want to do this with larger amounts to take into account the kind of fee. So obviously that fee would come off of any benefit of doing this. But if we put in 100 Luna, we would get 101.748, so basically 1.75 extra bonded Luna. What we can then do is go to the Anchor protocol, and in this section called B asset, we can click on that, and you can see there's two pools here. There's the Luna bLuna and then the bonded ETH web ETH pool as well. So what we can do with Luna, we can also do with wrapped ETH. So we're going to be doing this with Luna. So if you click on that and then on the burn tab, what you can do here is burn your bonded Luna back to Luna, and it essentially does this at a 1-to-1 ratio. So if we go back here, our 100 initial Luna would become 101.747. So we just copy that amount of bonded Luna. Then if we put that into bonded Luna, we would then burn back basically exactly the same amount, actually a fraction more, but essentially the same amount of Luna. Now this takes 21 days to burn, just like withdrawing from a staking pool, and they batch process these basically every 3 days. So when you set a burn in process, they're processed in 3-day batches, so it can take between 21 and 24 days to actually get your Luna out to the other end. But essentially once we've burnt that bLuna back to Luna, we will have 1.748, so essentially 1.75 more Luna, and that will take a maximum of 24 days. So over a year you can do this probably 15 to 16 times. So that kind of compounds up. So each time, if we're making 1.75% and we're doing that sort of 15 or 16 times, that would be about 25 to 30% more Luna that we can get the other side, because we can compound this up each time. So after 21 to 24 days we'll get 101.74 Luna out, and then we can put that back in here. So 101.74 Luna. Next time we'll get 103.5 back out 21 days later, and then if we put 103.5, the next day we'll get 105. So you can see how that compounds up over time. Now the one thing to bear in mind, and a few people were a little bit confused because they were actually going to the Anchor protocol, and they were trying to swap, or they're trying to mint the bLuna from Anchor protocol. So as you can see here, if you put 100 into the Anchor protocol, you'd only get 99.999281. And a lot of people were saying, well, where's the kind of uplift? And that's because you have to do the initial swap from Luna to bLuna through Terra Station. So you must do it through your kind of wallet through the Terra Station. That gives you your uplift. As you can see, 100 gives you 101.734, so it does fluctuate a little bit all the time, but then you go over to Anchor protocol to burn it, and then that basically creates your initial kind of Luna. You get your initial Luna back plus that extra. Sorry, if we go back to here, so once that's actually done, you can withdraw. So you can see the withdrawable Luna amount, it will pop up here. So you click withdraw, you can see I'm actually going through this process at the moment. So I've got 306 Luna. So when I did this a week or so ago, I put 300 Luna in. That created 306 bonded Luna, and they are due to be claimable on the 15th of February. So I've got another week till they'll become withdrawable. And when that happens, they basically pop up here. You withdraw that will go back into your wallet here, and then you can go through the same process again. So that's the second thing we can do, and that's basically swapping Luna to bLuna through Terra Station, and then burning that bLuna back to Luna through the Anchor protocol. The other thing we can do, again, first thing we have to do is convert our Luna to bLuna. So say we had 100 Luna again, we convert that through to bLuna, and instead of burning that, what you can do is borrow against that. So if we click on the borrow tab here, you can see here, again, I've done one of these as an experiment again. So in this case, I've got 204. So this was 200 Luna that's been converted, swapped into 204 bLuna. And that's a collateral of just under $12,000. And then what you can do is you can borrow UST, basically backed by this bonded Luna. Now, The recommended amount loan to value is 45%. I've kept mine to sort of 30%. Now, the price of Luna's gone up a little bit in the last few days. That's why it's now down to 27%. And you can borrow all the way up to 60% loan to value max. Now, if you go above that, you will start to get liquidated. So the risk with this, and this is obviously not financial advice, but the risk with borrowing against your Luna is that if the price of Luna, say you had a 45%, say you had a 50% loan to value, so you borrowed 50%. If the price of Luna goes down substantially, you'll go well over that 60% loan to value, and then there will be liquidation. So they'll start selling off your kind of position in order to kind of pay it back. But as long as you keep your loan to value pretty low, and 30% is kind of comfortable for me. It means I don't have to, be looking at it sort of like every minute of every day. You can see here I've borrowed just over $3,000 kind of dollars. That's backed by that. I can increase the amount back up to sort of 30% at any time. So if we click borrow, I could increase through this slider back up to 30.2%. Is that? Let's get to 30.1. So I could borrow an extra $300, and then we can take this UST and do whatever we want with it. Now, there is a borrowing cost for borrowing UST, so it's currently around 12%, so 11.99%. But what we can do is we can take that UST and then we can put it into Earn, and this is one of the most popular parts of Anchor Protocol. You can deposit your UST directly into your wallet here in your Terra station. It's then available, and you can deposit into that, so you don't need to do any of this kind of like bonding. That's only if you have Luna and you want to borrow against your Luna. You can just buy UST, for example, on Binance. You can withdraw that from Binance directly into your wallet. They charge a 1 UST fee each time you do it, so you probably want to do it in batches, big chunks at a time. But you can basically deposit that into the Earn protocol and earn 19.5%. It's around 19.5%. As you can see here, I've currently got $19,340 in the protocol, in the earn feature rather, and that will give me an expected interest this year of $3,769. This is APY, so this includes the compounding effect, and you can jump and have a look at that on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, or on a daily basis. So you can see about $10 a day at the moment. So what you can do here, you've borrowed your UST, that then appears in your wallet, and you can deposit it on the Earn protocol. So essentially you can borrow at 12% and earn at 20%, so making yourself an 8% markup. But in addition to that, in order to encourage people to borrow using the protocol, Anchor Protocol distributes its own token. So they are currently distributing 9.71% back in ANC tokens, and we'll go through those in a second. But essentially you're getting charged 12% to borrow, but then you're getting 9.71% back. So the net amount that it's costing you is actually just 2.28%. Now this can vary. A few days ago it was actually positive. I was gaining about 0.2% for actually kind of borrowing. They were paying me because the distribution APR was slightly larger than the borrow APR. And the basically these tokens here, if you go to my page in the Anchor Protocol, you can see here these ANC tokens, these claimable tokens. So you can wait till they run up to a reasonable amount, and then you can claim. So you can claim all rewards. There is a 25 cent, so 0.25 UST cost to kind of claim them. So wait for them to sort of like round up to a reasonable amount before you kind of claim them, and then you can either swap your ANC back to UST or Luna or anything like that, or you can stake it here. So you can stake it in the governance protocol. If you do that, you get 26.39% APR on the ANC token. You can stake them in a liquidity pool between ANC and UST. You get 52.15% on that. And a lot of people have asked me, they've got their ANC and then they're like, how do I swap it back? It doesn't show up in my swap function. So if you go to the swap function, they're like, it doesn't show up here in the kind of tokens. The easiest way to do it is actually using this govern tab. So if we go to the govern tab, this is where you can create kind of polls and do the kind of governance side of things. Now we'll cover this in a separate video, but essentially you can trade your ANC here. So literally click ANC, and if we switch those around, sorry, if we go to sell, so you could say, here's my ANC and I would like to swap that to UST. You can then put that UST into the Earn protocol to kind of compound that up, or swap it for Luna within Terra Station or anything like that. So that's a third option that's available for you. So the three options, I think probably starting from the most simple is, if you have Luna, you literally kind of click on delegate now, you delegate that, you earn 3% plus 5% roughly in Luna and stablecoin rewards. You can then take those kind of rewards and you can restake the kind of like ones once you've got enough, but it isn't an auto kind of compounding thing. You have to manually do that. The second thing you can do is swap your Luna for bLuna, and then we can go into the B asset side, and we can burn our bLuna back to Luna to make 1.75 to 2% each time, and we can do that probably 15 or 16 times a year, depending exactly how long it takes each time to do it. If you're lucky and it's taking 21 days, you'll probably get about 16 in. If it's taking 24 days, maybe 15 a year, but that will probably earn you about 20 to 30%, I would say, more Luna. And then the third thing we can do is again convert or swap rather our Luna to bLuna within the Terra Station wallet, and then we can borrow against it. So we can borrow UST against it, put that in the earn protocol to earn that interest. And if we want to repay this loan at any time, we can just withdraw however much we want from our earn protocol here, and then we can go here and just click repay. You can say the amount you want to repay, and that will then affect how much of your loan to value is available. If you are using this kind of, if you are borrowing against your Luna, do be aware that you can get liquidated if it goes above the maximum loan to value available. So make sure you keep your loan to value down, and make sure you keep a regular eye on this to make sure you're not creeping up towards that. Fairly recently we had a big pullback in the price of Luna, and a lot of people got liquidated. The other thing you can do, and it's beyond the scope of this video, but I may do a video on it if people want me to, is you can participate in liquidations. This is using something called Kajira, and basically you can buy people's liquidations when they get liquidated, when they go over their loan to value. So we can cover that in a separate video if you would like me to. So that's it for this video. It's been a relatively, hopefully a relatively basic kind of introduction. Hopefully it's been relatively interesting and kind of useful, and not too complex to go through. But if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. If you want me to kind of go into more detail about any of the specifics I've talked about, or any more advanced topics like kind of Kajira and liquidations and things like that, do again let me know in the comments below. But thanks very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Consider subscribing if you haven't to the channel. I'm producing lots more DeFi content in particular this year. It's been a big sort of like focus of mine, and certainly a focus going forward. So I'll be doing a DeFi video every week this year. This week's was Anchor Protocol. I'll probably be going on to Phantom or Avalanche next week, so keep an eye open for those. But thanks very much for watching as always. I hope you're keeping safe and well. Look after yourselves. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video, but until then, have a great day. Bye bye.